everyone, and welcome back to the OurMFC channel. Hope you all had an amazing week. Well, actually, it hasn't been a week since we last posted. Um, I wasn't very well last week, so it got published quite late in the week. I think it was like Friday, which it just isn't good enough, really. Um, but it's been quite warm on Teesside, so I hope you've all enjoyed the nice weather. I am joined by Matty this week. How's it going, Matty? All right?
Hello, everyone. Just in case you've forgotten what I look like, because I haven't been here for a while. Yeah, it's good to be back, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm better than I was last week. And it's
Yeah,
good to have you back.
yeah. It's great. It's great to be back. I've missed it. I've missed
Yeah.
it. And to all the people who have been sending me messages asking where I am, I appreciate all of you. Obviously, that's only been going on in my head and it hasn't actually happened. So I just thought I'd put it out there.
Yeah, but you never
No one.
know. Like, the more this grows, the more people get concerned. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God,
I
Matty hasn't
know.
been on the channel for a
Matty's not
few.
there. What's going on?
Where is he?
There'll
Um,
be a Matty manhunt.
yeah, but I mean, to be fair, you haven't missed too much. I mean, we still haven't picked up our first 3 points yet, have we?
Oh,
Well,
Jesus.
we'll get into that, and well, I'll tell you what, we'll just get straight into it. We'll get straight into it with that Stoke game, last Wednesday.
Yeah,
Now, it was a good game. Like,
yeah,
that's probably the best performance. You know, we played 5 games now. That was our fourth. But that out of all the five, that was probably our best performance this season in terms of like properly dominating a game of football. It reminded me of when we played Huddersfield away last
yeah.
season. Just complete, like proper wilder ball, dominated, just absolutely relentless. It,
But
it
we
that,
didn't win.
but we didn't win.
Ex-
Win. Um, their first goal. Well, we started well, and then their first goal, the referee said that he apologised to Chris Wilder at half time. But as I Jones has got the ball on the right, he turns back inside, and their man just comes in and literally takes Isaiah Jones out. Now, a few of the players stopped because they were like, well, that's obviously a foul. Anyway, he lets play go on. No idea how we thought that was a fair tackle. And then I think Stoke have got like a 3 or 4v2. Comes out wide, the ball gets put across, and it's a first time finish. And I seen Zach Steffen run from like literally his goal line all the way to the ref. Like, what is going on? How I've got no idea how that goal stood.
No,
No
I
idea at
mean,
all.
I couldn't have put that better myself, mate. I was screaming at the TV as I usually do.
Yeah.
It's definitely a foul. Like I have watched it repeatedly. It's definitely a foul. Like, and the referee, he's in good distance of it when you're looking at it. I don't know how he doesn't see it as not being a foul. And I think Zach Steffen had every right to react the way he did because when the player goes down like that for a foul. The players did it themselves. They all stopped because they think, oh, the referee's going to blow his whistle here. Oh, hang on, he
Exactly.
hasn't. Oh, hang on, it's 4v2 now. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then obviously it's cost us. But yeah, I think the referee apologising to Wilder at half time is a bit bittersweet, shall we say? Because it doesn't really change anything, does it? It's just you saying sorry.
Well,
But
no, I seen Borough Breakdown put a tweet out, and that was like, all right, the refs apologise. Like, nice one, thanks. Can we have our 3 points now? Like,
yeah,
it's all right, I'm apologising at half time, but it doesn't make any difference, does it? Like, the officiating's got to be better, especially in situations like that. I feel like at the minute
mm,
we're just not getting that side of the look that we kind of need. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, after that, like you say, second half. Well, no, not second half. Sorry, we come back fighting, and it's another great passing sequence. I know we seen that against Sheffield United for Akpom's first goal, but it was the same again in this one. It goes out wide, and a nice ball's put across. And Watmore is there for his first of the season, which is really, really good to see him get his first goal this season, because I know there's been question marks and doubts as to how much he'll feature this season, how many
yeah,
goals he'll get, the influence. and a lot of that's down to obviously the injuries that he's had.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a management, like a form of management that Chris Wilder's got to take with him as an individual, because game by
Hmm.
game, he can only have so many minutes, because his injuries have been that bad in the past. Anything too stressful can really like reignite them injuries that could come back. So he's got to be careful, but it was good to see him get his first goal.
Yeah, he scored his first goal, and I know obviously I wasn't here for the Sheffield United when you did all of that, but shout out to Tuber as well for getting his first couple of goals in a while.
Yeah,
Chuffed for the lad, and I must say, what a
definitely.
day that I really enjoyed that. Sheffield
Yeah,
United at
what an
home.
atmosphere.
It was actually a class game, to be fair. In
Yeah.
the central in Borough, before and after. As you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It was a great day. The only bad thing was, I don't know if you noticed, the Sheffield United fans booted a hole in the big screen. I don't know if you
Oh yeah, I
noticed
did
that,
see that. I did see that.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a couple of chunks
yeah.
missing, wasn't there?
There was a couple of chunks missing out the big screen, but I
Yeah.
do like it when Sheffield United come to town because you always get a big following and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to what we're talking about. Yeah, you said it there yourself. Obviously, what more? There's been a bit of concern around. I've heard of people, saying a few things when you're around there, saying like, "Oh, he's not gonna be as good as he was," or da, 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 "He might not have as big an impact," all that and whatever. And it's just, I just say the same thing all the time to people like that. Where it's like, mate, you're not the player. When the player's on the pitch, you have to get the service and you have to get the balls anyway. If you're a striker and you want to finish them off, you get people saying all the time anyway. Oh, play Watmore as a sub. He's better as a sub. Da, 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 da. I disagree. Right, I'm gonna say I disagree. Not in the fact that he's better when he starts. I'm just saying that if he starts, obviously he gets that more time to gel, like and get into the game.
Mm.
And we saw it last season where like obviously he came off the bench and he obviously had great impacts when he came off the bench. But I just think it's timing. Obviously you mentioned his injuries there.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't want to do anything that's gonna, reignite anything or, put too much, stress on anything. But yeah, I think it's just time with Watmore. I think that like he's obviously going to be cautious about his injuries anyway. But I just think that if he gets the right service and stuff, he could be doing what he did last season, just bang the goals in. We've got, we've got Chuba as well now, who's proven that he wants to stay. Wilder said he wants him to stay.
Yeah.
So, and then I think having Watmore, and then we've got Hoppy now, who my dad doesn't rate, by the way. Sorry, Matty, mate. But my dad doesn't rate you. But I think that when you've got that amount of strikers there, you have to utilize them as much as possible. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you've got a good couple of strikers there who are all going to be fighting for the place to start anyway. But I've said it before because I don't get why people criticize strikers all the time. Oh, they can't score when they're a striker. Yeah, because one, maybe they're not getting the service,
Yeah.
and two, he's a footballer at the end of the day. They all have bad days and they all have off days.
Yeah.
I think that. Yeah, but I think that I'll end up going on a rant in a minute. So yeah, no, and we'll be here for hours. But yeah, I think everything you said there. What more is with more time, and it'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, like you say, I think it's just a balancing act with him. I think there's games where he is good off the bench. There's other games where he's better starting. So I think it definitely depends on the team that we're playing and how he's feeling. If he's feeling like he's really up for this game, firing on all cylinders, like start him because there's a player in there that can do some real damage. Pet,
Mm,
I still think he needs to be up top with another striker that he can
yeah,
kind of feed
definitely.
off or running behind. He's not the type of striker, that gives you that option that's physical up top that can pin defenders and bring other players into the game. He's not that type of player. He's the type of player that'll run in behind, link up with other players, that type of thing. So yeah, it's just a balancing act with him. But yeah, it was good to see him be so involved because I think this start of the season he's kind of similar to Force, in the sense of running around like a bit of a headless chicken. Well,
Yeah,
a headless chicken because the running is with purpose, but not being as involved like on the ball as we'd have probably have imagined.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think you mean like not 100% knowing what's like why they're doing it, but like
yeah,
obviously like they're running because they're playing football. It's a job,
Yeah,
But I think that you've got with other strikers, you see that they're running because the ball might come in from there. They see things, and I think you put the nail on the head with players like Force. I think he's, obviously he's new, so we can't criticize him that much. We
yeah,
can't say, oh, he's rubbish because we haven't really seen the best what he's got to offer yet.
yeah,
But I think that I just think it's just again I think it's just going to be time for players like Force and Hoppy and that to just adapt and get used to everything. It's a new style of football, Well, maybe
of
not for Force,
course.
but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Like I don't think the fans realize how much that time it takes to actually adapt at a new club
Yeah,
and and new surroundings. So I think that you just need to watch this space for the future, but don't stick too much criticism on them just yet.
yeah, yeah. I think that's key. And we showed that. I mean, the character of the squad once again was shown. We go in at half time, 1-1. Second half, we'll come out once again, dominant. A hell of a lot of shots on target. Our like what the XG value, we've got like the highest in the league. It's just through the roof at the minute. We've won
Mm.
the XG on like all 5 of our games, which is just
Well, it
crazy.
is.
The complete
It's a
opposite of what
mystery.
to what we used to. And obviously then we go and get the second goal, and then
It's
we
a
go.
mystery to me how we haven't won a game this season yet.
I know.
It's honestly a mystery to me. I think we could have easily won at Sheffield United. We could have easily won this game.
Well, it's interesting
It's
because I think obviously we've got 3 draws, 2 losses.
yeah.
I think all 3 draws realistically, um, well, bar the bar the West Brom game. I think the West Brom game. I think that was pretty even in the end. I think um, we had the way better first half, and they had the way better second half. So that was a game of 2 halves, and I
Yeah.
think that was probably a point was deserved on both sides. But I mean, the Sheffield United game, the Stoke game,
Didn't we get the
so
inside of the post v Sheffield United in the
yeah,
dying minutes?
that
Yeah.
was
Is it?
Watmore as well.
I know.
To
It's
be
just.
fair, since they scored their first goal, we dominated from that point on. We
Mm,
were the better side. We created the better opportunities. They didn't even really test Stefan. And then in this Stoke game, it was um, a similar story in the sense of us just dominating again. Um, but I mean, their last goal of the game, literally like a minute left. There's a minute to
yeah.
go, and it was a bit of sloppy, couple of sloppy errors at the edge of the box.
When is it not sloppy errors though?
Well,
That's the thing.
yeah, and it just gets fired in, and there's
I
no.
will.
To be fair, the man is free. He's free in the 6 yard area, or he's between 2 defenders. I think it's Lenahan and Jake Steele, and I don't know if there's a lack of communication or what, but when that ball comes in, someone should be goal side of that striker, and there's no one there. There's no one challenging.
Yeah.
Like Jake Steele's behind, Lenahan's in front, and that guy's just in the middle, and he's just in that
Mm,
pocket space. So when the ball comes in, he's got a free header. There's no one challenging him for it, and
yeah.
I don't know what it's been
I
these
will.
first 5 games, but defensively, I just haven't been convinced. Obviously, we've conceded the most amount of goals in the league so far.
I will say this though, right? Once we get that first win, we'll be off to the races.
Oh,
Like
100%,
once we get that
100%.
first win under our belt, we'll be absolutely off to the races and we'll be going for it.
Yeah, we'll put a nice
I
one
just think
together.
exactly because we haven't got that first win yet, right? Everyone's getting really, really frustrated and people are
Yeah,
forgetting that we're only 5 games in.
it's like
Like
hanging
people are
on for
treating
everyone, isn't it?
yeah, people are treating this like it's mid-March, April in the season.
Yeah,
When it's not. We're 5 games in.
yeah,
There's plenty of football to be played. I think we've got a chance. We've obviously got some good games coming up. I saw the tickets for Blackpool away went on sale today.
yeah,
Unfortunately, couldn't get myself any as they all sold out, which I'm a
yeah.
bit
No
crying about.
surprise there, like.
But I felt like crying. But yeah, I think that once we get this first win under our belt, we'll be absolutely off to the races. We'll be fine. I
Yeah,
just think that people are getting impatient waiting for the first win. That's where all the frustration's coming from, because
yeah,
people are just getting impatient.
yeah.
So
No,
once we get that first win, we'll be off.
yeah, I mean, I said it last week. Yeah, as soon as we get that first win, I think it's hanging over us a bit. I think we're huffing and we're puffing, and it's not quite there. But like I said, especially with the officials in the Stoke game, I think we're a little bit on the bad side of the luck at the minute.
Yeah,
And I think as soon as that changes, we get that first win. Yeah, you put a nice run together, and before you know it, you're right back up the other end of the table. And to be fair, if you compare it to previous Chris Wilder seasons, he always starts slow. Um, when he was at Sheffield United, people were saying, questioning like Chris Wilder, people saying, "Oh God, like is he the man for the job? We could be in for a relegation battle here, and this, that, and the other." Obviously, the transfer business wasn't done yet, and they went on to get promoted. So
yeah.
yeah, there's like you said, there's still a week in the transfer window.
Mhm.
Still a couple of signings to come through the door. Then when we're at a full squad, I always say you get all your signings in by obviously the end of August. The the table, a true reflection of the table, will be shown the end of September when all
Yeah,
the signings have had a good month to settle in. Um, Everyone kind of understands the play that the manager wants them to play, then no one's got any excuses. Then I think that's a
yeah,
true
yeah,
reflection, isn't it, of when it starts looking like it should.
yeah. I will say as well, like, because you just reminded me of that point. This is a message to all the idiots on Facebook and Twitter who are saying Wilder out. Get your head looked at immediately, please. Just book an appointment. Do something. Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean Wilder out?
yeah,
Like, it's amazing, right? Some football fans on social media amaze me,
yeah,
right? They really do, because they're like, oh, we lost two. Oh, Wilder out. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Wilder out. We've
yeah,
lost two. Like, just shut up.
yeah.
Like, we're not Wilder not out at all. If anything, Wilder in, because Wilder's the
They're the ones though that like constantly you can't do anything, and whoever is managing the team, like whoever it may be, like it doesn't matter what they do. Like there's always something to complain about. Like I'll never forget, people were complaining about like the style. Like people were saying that we weren't winning, so like then we win a game, and then they'll complain even though we've won. Oh, but the
yeah.
football wasn't good, and like it wasn't a true reflection of like how we were
It
playing
was
and this,
only
that, and the other.
2-1. It was only 2-1.
Yeah, like just,
These people don't even go to the games, my head. These people
no,
don't even go to the games. They just watch dodgy streams, or they're not even there.
yeah,
Like, I don't get it. I just don't get, like, some of them are laughable, and I just wanted to get that in because it's been building up in me all week. Because every
yeah,
time I go on Twitter now, because I'm on all Borough things on there, so
yeah.
every time I go on Twitter, all I see is some little, like probably a 12-year-old kid. It was like, oh, Wilder out. It's not good football. Wilder
Mm.
ball. No, we don't want Wilder in anymore. I was like, mate, what drugs are you smoking?
It's crazy, isn't it? It doesn't even make sense.
Wilder's the man for the job. I've said it since day one. He can stay here as long as he wants. He
Yeah,
will get us back to the Premier League. Mark my words.
he will get promoted, like no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely. So for everyone out there saying, "Oh, it's time to get Sean Dyche in," I was like, hey,
Oh
come
God,
on.
no, God, no. Like I was thinking that I did see something the other day, and that's what people were saying as like an option.
As
Um,
much as I love Sean Dyche, right? Not now. Not now. Just no. Wilder's our man.
there's no way. But then obviously
No.
going to the Reading game, that was the complete contrast of what it was like on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Um, Obviously that was a very well, it just wasn't us, was it at all? It was that probably was a Sean Dyche performance
I
where
feel bad for my mates going down to Reading, to be honest.
yeah, there was quite a few as
It,
well that went down.
yeah.
There's quite a
It's a
few.
long way to go to watch a team play like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be
yeah.
fair, we came out and we absolutely dominated. Once again,
We say this every game. We
yeah,
say this every
same
game,
story,
mate. We
isn't it?
dominate every game. It's a story of every game this season. Oh, we're dominating. We're dominating. We're doing this, but we're not winning football matches.
Yeah.
And it's just it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And I don't know. I think I've broke the world records for the most of the times I've ever said it's frustrating on one series of a Borough
Yeah.
podcast. Because, I say it literally every week. Because it is. It's frustrating because we know what we're capable of. Like as a team, we know what the players are capable of. Some great players in there. But
Yeah.
I just think it's taken them longer than expected to gel together as a unit.
I don't
And
know.
I
I think
think that
it's hanging over the squad though, isn't it? It's like
yeah, as well. You've
can
got
feel the
and again, you've
tension.
got the fans. You've got the fans getting agitated because we haven't actually won a game yet. Like just let in the words of Paul McCartney, just let it be, right? Just let it be. Let it be. We'll get the first win, right? And then you can all go and get your pucker pies from the concourse and calm down because we'll get the first win and we'll just go on a great run after that. I said it to my dad, and my dad was like, exactly. Because once we get the first win, those idiots on Twitter will be shut up. Well, they probably won't. They'll still complain about
Yeah,
something, but
there's always something to complain about, isn't there?
yeah, that's what we should be. That's a new feature we should do. Best Borough fan tweets of the week,
That's
and
not
we
a bad
should
idea, laughable
laughable
tweet,
Borough fan tweets of the
laughable
week.
tweet of the week, and just like drop screenshots of them
Yeah,
on the YouTube clip. Not a
yeah.
bad idea, actually. To
We
be
might have
fair,
to get
though,
that
I
going.
think we'd probably need a separate channel for it altogether.
Yeah,
Because there'd be that many.
we might have to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a shout.
Right, we'll talk
Um,
about it after the video. We'll talk about it
yeah,
after the video.
yeah, it's definitely an idea.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like you said, it was a case of just possession football, wasn't it? And it's alright having all the possession in the world, but if you're not doing anything with the ball, you're just
yeah,
essentially keeping it. I mean, that's not taking anything away from Reading because, like, defensively, Reading were brilliant. They'd
yeah.
set up well. They were structured. Obviously, Paul Ince taking over full time there. I thought Tom Ince was really good actually.
I've always
Obviously,
rated Tom Ince, to be fair,
yeah, he's always been a
as a
good
player.
player, and
He's
obviously
always someone that I've always
working
fancied to
with
have
his
up here.
son.
He's been
Yeah,
there for
he's
years.
always been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I think he was great on the day.
He
Yeah,
was really good. He was
yeah, and
really
especially
good.
I think having your dad there as well. It's more motivations because they play well and all that. But
Yeah, I
you
mean
know,
they
I
didn't
just
have
think
Joe
that
Lumley in goal, which was
yeah,
a real shame because I think if we'd
God,
have,
we would have got some clips on Twitter for that.
yeah,
We
I
would have
think
got
we'd
some
have
clips
had
on
a
Twitter if he was in. I
couple
feel
of
bad
shots
for the lad,
from
to be honest.
outside the box. That'd have been nice. Um,
I've seen plenty of them.
oh god, yeah, he's had a few blunders, hasn't he? Let's just put it lightly.
Yeah,
While he's been at
bless him,
Reading.
bless him.
But yeah, like you say, it was a case of not, like I said, dominating the ball. But for me, like they're the games that are I'll use your word, the most frustrating
Mm.
because I have no problem losing. I have no problem at all losing when you've put the effort in. When if we absolutely gave it to Reading, if we carried that momentum from the Stoke game and we absolutely gave it to them, gave everything,
Mhm.
but Reading on the day were better than us. Kind of like, well, I know Liverpool was shite last night, but the way Man U gave everything and went at a team that is known for giving everything.
Man United are like us. Once we get the first win, like they did last night, as we've said, we'll be off to the races.
Yeah.
It's just because they didn't win for a few games. Now I think they'll turn it around and they'll go on a great run, just like we will once we get
Mm,
our first win.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm looking forward to it. Wait, our next game's is Saturday, isn't it?
Swansea.
Oh Jesus! Do
And
you?
what were you going to say? Sorry.
As I said, the reverse fixture for that's on my birthday, Swansea away. I wanted a good away day on my birthday, not one that's on the bloody down
Yeah,
south
that's
or
a
that
good
way.
away. That's a brilliant away day. You have to
I
go
know
to
I'm working on Saturday though, so I can't get out that
Oh,
bloody thing.
never
I
excuses.
know. It's not a disgrace. I'm earning money. But you know what I mean? It's frustrating because I think my dad said it when we were looking at the stats after the Reading game. How can a team have that much possession and not like actually do something with
Yeah,
it?
there was just a lack of creativity,
It's
wasn't there? There was like for me, Moat was poor.
yeah.
Riley McGree was poor. Like the whole midfield was really poor, um, and it just didn't stick up the top of the pitch. There was
I think
no.
McGree's been a bit underwhelming this season.
Yes,
I think
the
McGree's been a
start
bit
the start to the
underwhelming.
season. I think
Yeah,
genuinely because it sounds daft, but when Tav was in the team, Tav was
that's
your
what I was gonna
everyman.
say. If
Tav
we
was
still
your
had
yeah,
Tav and McGree as that link up,
yeah,
McGree would have been performing way better than he has done from the start of the
100%.
season. But I
Because
think he's missing Tav because he was used to having Tav there when he was in at the end of last season. But because
yeah,
Tav's not there, he's taking a while to adapt to it.
yeah,
But obviously, Tav's doing bits in the Premier League now, so we've got to
yeah.
appreciate
I
that. But
mean,
I just think
because Tav
again,
was
it's
always the energy man, wasn't he? He was the
yeah,
man that
exactly.
we would run about. He'd pick up the pieces, he'd track back, he'd create, and he was always that buzzy player. And Riley McGree would just feed off that. He'd maybe hold it back five, and he could pick off these passes. Or while Tav's doing the running, he can go, "Oh, ball's made to run on the left. Oh, Jones is cutting in on the right." Like, and he just play them threaded through balls. But I feel like since
Mm,
Tav's gone, obviously McGree has naturally taken on more, um, and he just hasn't like kind of got to grips with it yet. He hasn't, uh, yeah, he hasn't really coped that well with doing that role, and not the best at tracking back, and we've left gaps in the midfield, which has obviously led to counter attacks and things like that.
yeah,
So yeah, it's like you say, it's the squad getting used to each other, and that's largely where their goal came from. I think that was a counter attack. There's men coming back, and I think they have a shot. It gets blocked. It comes back out, and to be fair, their midfielder, like, it's a cracking strike, no doubt
yeah,
about it. But once again, like, we go behind first. Um, but to be fair, that, like I say, what was disappointing was when we went behind against Reading, we genuinely didn't look like scoring. We
mm,
when we went behind there, we never looked like coming back into the game, um which is what you fear most, isn't it?
yeah. It's. I think when, as you said there earlier, I don't mind losing the game if we put 110% into it.
Yeah.
But when it's lackluster and you can see that there is no passion, there is no aggression, when you can see there's all of that,
Hmm.
I think that people do latch onto it, and it's like that's when a loss really, depresses you and makes you, about the game.
It makes your afternoon, your evening
Yeah,
eternal, doesn't it? It
I
hangs.
mean, your Parmo after the game doesn't taste the same, does it?
No, it
It's just
doesn't. It really doesn't.
it, it's not good. But as I said, I don't mind losing if we put 110% into it.
Yeah.
But I think that if we didn't look like scoring, then that's just going to get everyone down anyway, and then that's just going to make it a lot worse. But I think that we need to. Obviously, did you say we've conceded the most goals in the championship this season?
Yeah, I think we've joined with scoring the most goals, but we've conceded the most goals.
It's a wonderful stat, that, isn't it?
It's
I
pretty
mean,
accurate. I mean, to
how
be
have we?
fair, it's like that football idea of, like, however many you score, we'll score more. Except
Yeah,
we haven't.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we
yeah.
haven't scored more, which is the worrying thing. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. They're the two games out the way. I'll do our sponsor section, and then we'll get on to some news.
I forgot we've got loads of sponsors now. Actually,
We actually do. We've got
I
quite a
know.
few. It started off a few weeks ago with two, and I'm now looking at like eight.
How many have we got now? 8. Yeah, I thought it
Yeah,
was 8.
which
By
is
the way,
like
guys, thank you all for sponsoring us. By the way, I've seen it
yeah,
all. I did message quite a few of them and say thank you for doing it. So,
yeah.
uh,
It's awesome. It's really awesome. And
absolutely.
all of our sponsors are really cool, interesting sponsors as well. There's a lot of
Wide
variation.
variety, isn't there? The wide
Yeah,
variety.
there's an awful lot of
That's what I like about it. Yeah.
variation in there. So yeah, the first one is family outings. So family outings, they put on like awesome friendly coach trips, from Teesside to national destinations, attractions. So that's anything from your Alton Towers, your Flamingo Land, even if you wanted a couple of nights in Blackpool. They put on coaches from Middlesbrough, Billingham, Hartlepool, um, and Stockton. So yeah, if you fancy a day out with family, give Family Owens a ring. Second one is Spencer Beck Windows Teesside. Obviously, names in the name is in the name. Um, yeah, these guys are a traditional window cleaning company, and they cover the whole of Teesside. So it doesn't matter where you are in Teesside. If you've got mucky windows, give these guys a ring, and they'll come and sort that out for you. That's not a problem. Next one is Chris Clark Solicitors. Now, these guys are actually based in Staffordshire, but Chris gave us a message, and he is a massive, massive Borough fan.
Well then, Chris.
Obviously, yeah, big up Chris. But he's obviously got his own soliciting firm, and they specialise in criminal defence, conveyancing, wills, and probate. So yeah, he wanted to be a part of supporting OurMFC this season. But yeah, if you're in that area and need any of them services, get in touch. Next one is Gracie Barra Martial Arts. Now, Gracie Barra are a worldwide community of jiu-jitsu instructors, students, and athletes. And the organization's built up over 700 schools in
Ooh,
6 continents. Like, these guys are awesome. These guys are really
fair
cool.
play.
I've said in the last few weeks, Matty, like we need to go and get some martial arts lessons and
There's a
you know,
video
do
for the
some
club's channel, innit? The
some
OurMFC and go and
jiu-jitsu.
get martial arts training.
Yeah,
The
definitely. Well,
OurMFC team go and get some martial arts training.
yeah, the shorts of us doing some jiu-jitsu. That'd be pretty sick.
Quality.
Yeah, well they're based in there's one in Middlesbrough and there's one in Hartlepool.
Okay.
So yeah, they're really local. And they put on like different classes, and you can even go for a free. Your first class is like a free like taster session. So
Yeah.
if anyone fancies a bit of
I
jiu-jitsu,
know I see a lot of people all the time on the Ingleby Bar like notice board where I live on Facebook asking for their kids what like if there's any martial arts stuff and that. So
yeah,
if you're one of them, give them a message or a ring because
there
I'm
you
sure they'll be
go.
happy to help.
There is definitely one local. The next one is AM training and recruitment. So these guys are training specialists in like pre-employability training. So this is like working with unemployed candidates in the Tees Valley region, kind of helping you find the right courses, the right training to kind of get you into work. Obviously, the Northeast, it's not really the best for jobs, is it? Um, and these guys are the people to go to. They've got a brilliant recruitment record as well for landing new jobs or working for companies to find the right people for the right jobs. So yeah, if you're in need of a job or feel like you need some more training or learn some new skills, go and see training and recruitment. Next one is we've already spoke about Parmos, and
Oh,
this one is Everyone Round My House for a Parmo, and obviously that is the book written by Phil Spencer, who we've interviewed and
legend of a man.
featured a couple of times on the channel. He's a really really nice bloke, local lad, and yeah, he's wrote an awesome book that covers our journey of our best years from 2003 to like 2006, and that obviously covers like the McLaren Revolution, the Carling Cup final, and like our crazy European adventure, small town in Europe. So yeah, if you haven't read that, I've read the whole book, and
I've
it's
had a flick through
brilliant.
it and it's actually it actually looks amazing. So I'll have to give it a proper read to be
It's
fair.
so
Like
good, mate. Like you need a copy. You really need a copy. Like yeah, it covers all sorts, and I think obviously, especially for us being like our age, um,
I
I mean,
wasn't around to see it,
I
so
was
you know what I
yeah,
mean.
exactly. Like I was between like 2 and 5, so although I was born, I don't remember. I don't remember
Yeah,
any of it, so
I
it's nice
wasn't
to
even in the
relive
womb
it.
for half of it, mate.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But yeah, that helps you kind of relive it, which is cool. Um, Next one is extra time leagues. Now, these guys are essentially everyone knows what who goals are, right? So think of goals, but on steroids. So these are like 7 and 9 aside teams, where you can, if you've got mates, put a team together, join a tournament that is run by extra time leagues, and you can win some crazy cash prizes. I know they've got a picture of Dimmy. Dimmy is one of them, and he got a team together, a little tournament. I don't know how he done, but that's pretty cool to think that he was in that a little tournament. So
I mean,
fancy it,
there's
yeah,
cash prizes. I mean, that sells it to me. I
exactly.
mean,
Playing
get yourself
football,
down there.
money,
Playing money to get money, it's perfect.
like it's a win-win, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So yeah, give it a try. And the last one, and our newest one is Sure Pure CBD. Um, Now these guys sell some of the best CBD on in the UK, and they do a range of different products. So that's like your gummies, your CBD oil. Now we always say with things like this to go and do your research first. They would recommend that
Yeah,
as
please
well.
be cautious on that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean CBD oil, like I said, it's not you take it and it's like, whoa, dude, like it's not to get you high, none of that. There's genuine health benefits. I know my girlfriend personally takes it. I've taken it previously. It's really good for stress relief, anxiety. If you suffer from migraines, it's meant to help with migraines, help you sleep. There's tons of benefits, but yeah, go and do your research first. And if you are interested in buying products along them lines, go and check Sure Pure CBD out because yeah, they've got everything you need. Right, that wraps up the sponsor section, and now we will get into a few bits of news. Right. So first bit of news is the one of Borough's targets we were chasing for quite a while. The Hull City defender Jacob Greaves. Now he was going to be well, he was Chris Wilder's like main target. Obviously there was rumours of him not wanting to sign a new contract at Hull. We'd obviously already offered a bid. Hull turned it down. We sent a new bid, which was believed to be around like £4.55 million. Um, anyway, he eventually signed a new contract with Hull. So that is obviously we've got new targets. We've got one of them which we'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, that obviously never nice to miss out um,
No.
on targets. But I don't think he was too popular up here anyway.
Mm,
There was quite a lot of negative comments about Greaves and like paying that much for him and this, that, and
mm.
the other. But what I didn't realize is he's actually only like 21, 22. So that guy's
Yeah.
got bags of potential and a lot of experience at his age as well. I think he's been in and around the first team for Hull for like the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So, they're looking to they really want to go for it this season. So I think that's a good bit of business on their part to tie him down. But yeah, it's a shame to miss out, but we move.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that, yeah, as you said, it's never nice to miss out on a transfer target, especially one that you know that is wanted quite a lot by
Yeah,
the people at the club. But I think that it's becoming the case a lot with us now, where we are seeing transfer targets slip through the cracks. We seem to see that quite a lot.
yeah,
So obviously, whether something's going on behind the scenes and that, we don't know.
yeah,
We don't know. But yeah, obviously we move. There's plenty more players we've being linked to, and hopefully we could snatch before the end of the window, which I'm sure you're going to get into.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, one player we finally managed to snap up, one that me and you thought he was pulling pranks on us, thought he was just liking stuff for the crack, really enticing Borough fans in. But Borough finally got Rodrigo Muniz on a season-long loan from Fulham. We got him over the line. He was actually at the Reading game at the weekend. There's a nice picture of him, and just in front of him, actually, Neil Bowser's got his head in his hands. That was quite a funny picture. Um,
I did see a lot of tweets about that. So like it was like
yeah, it
yeah, I
probably
had a
wasn't the
picture.
best game for him to go to, was
It was
it?
a picture. I saw a tweet, right? I laughed. It was a picture of Rodrigo when he was watching the game, and he was looking like quite focused. And someone edited a thought bubble on his head, and he was like, "Why am I coming to watch this You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah,
It's like Rodrigo Muniz deciding what's the quickest way to get back down the M1.
yeah. It definitely wasn't the ideal game for him to go to and go, oh God,
I
yeah.
think he's going to be class.
So do
Personally, I think
I.
he's going to be
So
class.
do I, mate. I really do. I think when when he featured for full, obviously we tried to sign him last summer. That's not been hidden at all.
No.
I'd have admitted it. The club wanted him last season. We wanted him on a permanent transfer. It wasn't to be. Obviously, he went to Fulham. There was no way he was going to get into that side. The way that Mitrovic was playing, it was
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, um, breaking records and stuff. But when Muniz came on, when he did feature for Fulham, he looked bright. He looked energetic. He looked hungry. He was physical. He's quite tall as well. I think he's really going to shake up that forward line for Borough. And I think if you've got him and Akpom firing on all cylinders, you have got two strikers capable there of double figures like quite
Mm.
easily. And I think it's about time you've got a striker that really steps up. Um, and I think Muniz is going to be that front man. He's going to be, when we talk about the starting 11, he's going to be one of the first ones on the team sheet. He's going to,
Yeah, definitely.
it's going to be a given that Muniz is playing, but who's he playing with? Who's going to step up and go, oh, well, I deserve to be in that starting 11? Is it going to be Akpom when he returns from injury? Are the two new lads, Force and Hop, are they gonna go, well, I deserve to be playing? Obviously, Hop played for the under 21s the other day,
Yeah.
got about 65 minutes, um, just building his fitness up. But yeah, brilliant signing. Really, really excited. I
I'm just
think he's
glad he wasn't
gonna.
liking stuff on Twitter for the absolute, take the
Could you
mick out of us.
imagine if it didn't happen?
I'm glad it actually meant something because
Yeah,
I know Ben was going on about it. Ben didn't know what was going on.
no, he was really
I'm
confused.
sure he'll be chuffed
He will
that
be now.
that we've actually got that. So I think you hit the nail on the head again. I think it's who plays up there with him.
Yeah,
I think him and Akpom are going to be a force to be reckoned with once Akpom returns from injury. Because
100%.
I honestly think Akpom's going to, if he's got, especially the confidence he's got after the Sheffield United game, obviously before he went in for injury and all that. I think he's going to come back and he's going to be like raring to go fully. He's going to be wanting to improve on that and get more goals. And I think having a partner like Moon is up there with him, they can play off each other and obviously they'll get chances to get to know each other in training, get the foundations right. I think that could be a pretty formidable striking like relationship if that blossoms the way we think it could.
Yeah,
And
100%. 100%. When I think they're both fairly similar strikers in the way that they like to play. But I, I know I've heard Maddo speak about playing like a big and a little one. At the same time, so you've got the likes of like a physical striker like your Muniz, like your Akpom, and then playing him alongside a Force or a Watmore that makes runs in behind. But I think they're both capable of switching their game up, which makes our front two so unpredictable. It means that we're going into every game and their defenders aren't going, oh well, I know Akpom's going to be physical and Watmore's going to run in behind, so
mm,
we'll stay tight on one and make sure every time he gets the ball, we're on him, and we'll be aware of the runs from the other one. With them two playing up front, it's going to mean that it could be any of them that makes a run in, links up play while the other one's making a run in behind, or vice versa, like just switching the game up. And then, like you said, then you've got the option, if that's not working out, to bring on a Force, a Hop, a Watmore off the bench, and it gives you a bit of versatility. Or you take one of the midfielders out and go three up top.
mm.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting. But what's more interesting is even though we've signed Muniz, we still want one more striker. So, like, yeah, even if we sign one more striker, then you're looking at that makes us, if everyone's fit and everyone's raring to go, then you look at the squad depth, look at how strong we are up top. then. So whether that last striker is going to be someone like Reese from Preston, or we bite the bullet and offer the money for Strand Larson.
Mm.
It looks like it's going to be one of them two for the final striker. So yeah, you get them over the line. That forward line's looking tasty.
It's gonna turn into FIFA in a minute. We're gonna be playing all strikers on the pitch, but putting position changes on them.
Yeah,
Can you imagine? But yeah, I think that like I've seen some people complaining that we're getting too many strikers, and I'm confused about what that means. Can you have too many strikers?
yeah.
I
Like
don't know.
I
It's
understand
like,
where they're coming from, but like there's a balancing act, and
mm,
you really can't when it comes to if you want to promote, like if you want to win promotion to the Premier League, like you need them options, you need that squad depth, and
yeah,
strikers. You'll have your one or two like focal strikers that they'll be your mate. They're the ones that you want to get double figures. I want Akpom to get 10 goals this season, and I want Muniz. I want him on 15 or more, vice versa. And then I want the other strikers coming off the bench and chipping in, or when they're called upon, they come in, make a difference, and they grab goals. That's how you. I mean, it goes back to when we had under. Let's go back to Phil Spencer's book. Everyone around Myers for Palmo. You look at the squad then. We had Hasselbank, Viduka, Yakubu, Macaroni. There's four strikers that you're thinking four strikers. We only play like one, maybe two up front. How's that going to work? And you just rotate them. You just rotate them, or
yeah,
sometimes a player will be having a really good spell. He deserves to stay in the team. Whereas the other one, it's a bit up for contention, so that's when another player gets a run in. Hop might not have had a good spell. Goes to the under 21s, does really really well. Wilder thinks, you know what, he's done really well. He's trained excellent. He deserves a spot in. Comes in, absolutely smashes it. So I think that's
we shall wait and see.
how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, we shall wait and see for definite.
Definitely. But the last bit of news, ending on a positive note once again. I had a bit of a run for ending on a negative note. But last couple of weeks it's been all good stuff. And yeah, I say that I need to touch wood because now I've said that it probably won't happen. But Borough are set to sign Brighton defender Matt Clark for 2.25 million. And to be fair, we're recording this on a Tuesday. Apologies, it's not a Monday. Um, but apparently the medical should have already been done today. That was meant to happen.
All right.
So, if that goes ahead, absolutely cracking signing.
Bargain as well, to be fair.
It is, because I didn't realize, he looks a lot older than he is. He's only
Yeah.
25. So 2.25 million for a 25-year-old with a hell of a lot of experience. And when I say hell of a lot of experience, for context, the last 4 years he's won Player of the Year at each of the clubs he's been at. So that was
Mm.
um, Portsmouth,
Go
West
on, John. Go
Brom,
on.
Derby, West Brom. There was one other before then as well. I can't remember the other one. But yeah, the four clubs he's been at, he's absolutely smashed it. He's a solid defender. And to be fair, um, Graham Potter, the Brighton manager, confirmed that that's the deal that's nearly done, and that Borough will be getting not only a good player but a very good person as well, a good
Yeah.
character to have in the dressing room. Yeah, that would be really really good signing, and he's a left-footed defender, which is exactly what Chris Wilder wanted. And I think if he doesn't get his main target, which was Jacob Graves, like Matt Clark, absolutely brilliant option. Um, it's like you said, that left-sided centre back, which ticks off another box. Then you've only
Yeah.
got the other midfielder and the other striker to get. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Obviously, we've been crying out for there's been a lot of people complaining about the defence recently. We all know that. But I think that
After
having that
after
him
after
there,
they complained about us signing too many defenders.
yeah, they're complaining about us signing too many defenders,
Yeah,
and I've even seen people, complain about us potentially signing this one on Twitter. I was like, mate, you haven't seen him play. Well, you probably haven't seen him play. Like, you don't know what he's all about. Like,
I
I just
don't
don't
think
get
he
why people
wins
have to be
Player of
so
the Year.
negative. You know what I mean?
I don't think
Exactly,
he
but
wins.
these people don't
Yeah,
know that, do they? They're not
no,
educated.
no.
So I think that that speaks volumes in itself that he's won Player of the Year at the last four clubs he's
So
been at,
exactly.
and I think that gives us just that extra bit of foundation in defence as well. Having a
Yeah,
player that's that experienced and all of that. I hopefully latch some of that experience onto the likes of Bowler. All of that. But yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. If the medical was today at time of recording,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to see how this progresses.
Going to be interesting though. Here's a quick question for you before we wrap it up. 'Cause that is the
There
last
we go.
news. If he does sign, or when he signs, what would your back three be? Who would you play?
Uh, God, you got me on the spot now.
Because I think Wilder.
I think I'd go with him. Definitely, I'd definitely play him. And then I don't know whether to put Fry in there. I
I
like
know, I
it's
know. I'm not sure. I've
it's like doing your fantasy Premier League. This,
a
isn't it?
little
It's
bit,
hard.
yeah. I've never
It's
been
like
at a point where I couldn't really predict what Wilder would do, especially when it came to defense. I understood it up top when you got so many strikers and rotating and stuff, but defensively, you normally have your every everyday back five. But I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Matt Clark left centre back, Lenahan in the middle, and then it's
yeah,
going to be Dale Fry or Paddy McNair, isn't it? It's just going to be no, Jake
yeah.
Steele, Jake Steele.
Exactly, like you say it, and then you realize that you're leaving someone out, and you're like, oh, he better go in. It's hard. Like
It
I
is,
still remember going back to the days where we had that solid, defense that we have all the time. That every game you knew was going to be there. I'm talking, George Friend, Daniel Ayala, Ben Gibson, and then
yeah,
whoever the right back he chose was at the time.
into a
Yeah, that one, yeah. But yeah, when you knew you had that for every game you were like, oh, okay, because you knew what to expect. With this one, you take one player out, and then you're gonna have some fans complain about why isn't he started?
yeah,
So like, you can pick three, but it's bittersweet because you're gonna get hit for it anyway.
yeah,
But because you're gonna be leaving someone out who's a good player,
yeah.
and whether that just means rotating it all the time, then that's maybe what you might have to do.
I think that's what's gonna be, isn't it? I mean, it's all right us saying, "Oh God, yeah," like who's he gonna pick, and then thinking about it. Like, let's be totally honest, the amount of games that we've got to play from now until the end of the season. Obviously, the winter break comes in between, but well, maybe it is a blessing in disguise with our Carabao being knocked out of the Carabao Cup. But when the FA Cup comes around, if we're putting a run together, then it's good. You're going to have to rotate. You're going to not everyone's going to be fit all of the time, or they're not always going to be 100%. Obviously, we've already had issues with Fry. Um, hence, Bowler's stepped in and played left centre back. But Wilder does prefer to have that left-sided centre back. Um, and I do feel like Bowler's a little bit out of his depth at centre back.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
he doesn't have that he's all right out wide because then he can tuck in, but as an actual centre back, I just
No.
it just doesn't work. So I think, yeah, and then you ask yourself, if Giles is fit, how much game time does Bowler get?
Yeah, it's a conundrum either way, isn't it? Because you don't know who you're gonna take off, who you're gonna put in.
Yeah,
It's a hard one, but yeah, I just think that the answer is just rotating it as much as he can, and then just giving each one equal amounts of opportunity, and then if it happens, he chooses his definite back three, then he goes from there.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this week's episode. It's been a fairly long one, but there's been plenty to talk about. When there's two games during the week, yeah, it's gonna be a long one. But thank you very much, Matty. I have
No
really
worries,
enjoyed
pal.
the episode. Really, really appreciate you being on.
No worries, mate. Anytime.
Right, if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure subscribe and like the video. And if you maybe disagree with what we've been saying in this, or you agree with some of the stuff that we've been saying, let us
Even
know
if
in
you
the
don't
comments.
agree with some of the stuff we've
Yeah,
said,
just let us know what the
but
what,
obviously don't go over the top with that. But you still
yeah,
tell us because
yeah,
we'd love to hear what you have to say.
definitely.
But yeah,
We always
don't be
reply
too
on
harsh, obviously.
Yeah, we always reply on YouTube as well. Always like and reply to your comments. So yeah, leave a comment. Really appreciate that. And it lets us know how many people are actually still listening at this point. So if you are, you're a legend.
If
Uh,
you are, thank you so much.
God,
But it just
yeah,
shows we're not doing this for in vain. Thank you.
yeah. It's not just like people enjoy us like rambling a little bit and talking about our football club. So
Yeah.
no, it's not a bad thing. And then if you are listening on the podcast and you are listening to us ramble, we appreciate you and the support that you show. Follow, tell other people about us, get them to give us a follow. We are growing at a crazy rate. We're nearly at like not far off 4,000 followers on Instagram. Like
Oof.
just hit 3K on Twitter, nearly 7K on TikTok. Like we're flying at the minute, and that's all down to you guys. So yeah, please continue with the support. It's really much appreciated. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode. See you all later.
Bye.